Hey everyone, this is assignment 13, families. It is important as teachers that we understand the diversity we have in our classroom and understand how to communicate effectively with our students and their families. In order to have a good relationship with your students' families, it is important to have good communication with them. Although a lot of families have multiple home languages and might not speak English, we need to figure out how to properly communicate with these families so they can understand their child's progress and the teacher can get a better understanding of the child and be able to guide the child more effectively in their education. Some steps I would take prior to preparing for the conference would be to know what languages are being spoken in the home, if the child's family speaks English fluently, if the family does not understand English fluently, that I would prepare to have a translator for the languages they feel most comfortable with. I would also communicate with the family beforehand and make sure the perfect time and date were set for the conference. Also, making sure I had the right amount of time to speak with the families is important because it could take longer than most meetings. In preparation for the conference, I would gather all necessary information needed. I would make sure I had a comprehensive profile that contained portfolios, assessments, and observations that would help the parents understand where their child is developmentally. Having these items accessible during the conference will help the process go smoother. I would also ask the parents before the conference, when the time and date were being set, what they would like to talk about in the conference so I could make sure I had all necessary documents and I was prepared to answer the questions. In the process of preparing for the meeting, I would be communicating with the parents in the easiest, best way possible for them. For example, if the parents found it easier to email because using Google Translate was more effective for them, I would do that. Or if speaking by phone was easier, I would make sure I had a translator available to communicate over the phone information. Also, knowing if the student is going to be present during the conference is important so you can expect to have input from the child and as a whole group we can all communicate effectively together. When holding a conference with a family that speaks a different language and does not speak English fluently, it is important during the conference to make sure you are speaking clearly, either to the family or to the translator, so all information is being understood properly. Making sure the families feel comfortable in their environment is also a key aspect of holding a conference. When people know they have to communicate with another person that does not speak the same language as them, they can feel apprehensive and uncomfortable. So right off the bat, making sure that the families feel comfortable in the conference will help it to go smooth. Um, yeah. So, also, making sure to involve the family in the conference with asking questions and getting feedback from them is important. Just because they speak a different language does not mean that having back and forth communication can't be done. The process might take a little bit longer, but allotting the appropriate time in advance for the conference is important so the meeting isn't rushed and all information can be talked about clearly. It is also important to explain in detail what you are talking about. Most families don't understand certain assessments, so explaining what each assessment is and why are they being done is very essential. Doing conferences with families is important for the teacher, parent, and student. Everyone benefits from these meetings, and that is why it is important to make sure you're properly prepared for the conference and everything is conducted properly so all information can be put across to the families, to the teacher, to the student, and the student's development and education will definitely benefit from this. Thank you so much. Have a great day.